Wastewater injection also poses a threat to human health. Sewage treatment can result in the creation of superbugs, which are not always destroyed by UV disinfection. The county's primary method of disposal for wastewater effluent containing these bacteria is to inject it into near-shore wells where it mixes with brackish groundwater.
So I'm Nicola Porcella. I'm a professional kiter, and I've been kiting and training here for the last 10 years, since '99. And Kite Beach is basically, the spot where I grew up. Really, this place is beautiful, except there's, some days we have this kind of smell that's, we all know there's the sewer plant. We don't know exactly what it is, but, sometimes it's kind of, a little nasty, and a lot of us have been getting staph infection.
All this that you see, all this, it's from out there. So I invite you, come swim in our waters with your families, your children, and enjoy it. And I pray you don't look like this when you come out. Every life in this room, everyone who gave a testimony, their lives are priceless. There is no compromise for any individual, any living human being that lives on our islands or anywhere in the world. So when it comes to the weighing of cost and life, there is no, life is precious. And I am so happy to be here tonight because this is the first meeting I've ever been to that everyone in the room are all on one side of the fence and all agree. And I love it because it is about lives, our precious human lives. So please, EPA, what is that? Environmental Protection Agency. I ask you please, do your fiduciary duties for our lives. Maui.
The estimated annual economic losses due to algae blooms, damaged reefs, loss of fish and other marine life, and the unpleasant seaweed smell that drives down rental prices of beach properties amounts to as many as millions of dollars a year. North Kihei algae blooms alone cost Maui an estimated $20 million a year in lost revenue and costs associated with algae removal.
The major problem that has to be dealt with is the fact that we're doing injection wells at all. We have a water shortage. The water department is constantly in the paper saying that we must reuse water, or we have to be rationing water, or we're on water conservation policies. And yet at the same time, we're putting millions of gallons a day, I think somewhere between 11 and 14 million gallons a day, into injection wells and literally wasting it, throwing it away. I believe that history allowed us to become very complacent in how we were going to address what we're going to use as our resources. Just as in the past, farmers were able to till soil and then utilize all of the nutrients in the ground and then move on to another area. Here in Hawaii and indeed most of the world, we didn't recognize the fact that we need to recycle and reuse a lot of what we have in our natural environment. So we got lazy, we found a cheap and easy way to do things, and we've just carried that on traditionally because we haven't been willing to bite the bullet and be responsible. Now, wastewater reclamation is a long process that needs to be followed through completely. When we started the system, the idea was reclamation, which is why the division was called wastewater reclamation. The entire purpose was to take the entire waste stream and then reutilize virtually everything that was coming through the waste stream. And there's absolutely no reason why it can't be done. If this were Saudi Arabia or any of those countries where water is much more difficult to find, we wouldn't be wasting a drop of it. In other states where they're going through desalinization because they haven't got the resources, it's a lot cheaper to reuse the waste stream that we do have. But we choose not to because we artificially create barriers like cost And cost is really a question of choice. Are we going to spend the money to be able to reutilize the stream, or are we going to spend millions and millions of dollars trying to develop new water sources by digging new wells and exploring for 1 million gallons here and 1 million gallons there, when we literally have 11 to 14 million gallons that we're dumping into the ground every day? Now, as the former mayor of Maui County, we did a lot of studies in the water department and a lot of cost studies. We also looked at all the water resources. This was one of the key water resources that we identified that needs to be developed. The lack of development of water resources by the water department has created a tremendous challenge for this community. It's one of the key reasons why we're in an economic depression right now. This administration has seen fit to say there's no more water meters to be given in a lot of areas. And that literally stopped the construction industry. And that includes affordable housing as well. For the past 2 years, almost no affordable housing was created. And there are many developers that want to do affordable housing. So a lot of members of the community are being deprived of it because the projects cannot be started without water.
On April 15, 2009, a group of plaintiffs filed a lawsuit requiring Maui County to cease the practice of utilizing injection wells for the disposal of treated wastewater. A blessing ceremony was held on May 22nd to commemorate the completion of Phase 1 of a 2-part photovoltaic system at the McKenna Wastewater Reclamation Facility. One of the featured speakers at the blessing ceremony was Charmaine Tavares, the mayor of Maui County.
And so it's an exciting time to be here, an exciting time to support what's going on in the private sector. And this is what is making Maui the leader throughout the state, because we have Everett Dowling and some other folks who are serious about finding new ways to get the power that they need. We think that there are lots of applications that the County of Maui is going to be able to use by looking at what you've done here at the wastewater treatment plant. Never did I know I would pay so much attention to wastewater treatment plants, but they're like the #1 power user for the County of Maui, followed closely by the water department. So those are two departments that use millions of dollars worth of oil to run an operation for our community. So if we want to really help our community, we switch off to something like this. And I love it that you're using the reclaimed water, you're treating it to R1 level and using it on the golf course. And we have some plants that are R1, but our goal is to use all of the water that's produced by our wastewater treatment plants and not put it down in any injection wells. That's our goal.
On April 15, 2009, a group of plaintiffs filed a lawsuit requiring Maui County to cease the practice of utilizing injection wells for the disposal of treated wastewater. Puko'a O'Kama Alliance, an association of South Maui residents who use coastal waters for recreational, commercial, and cultural activities, including Kihei residents Mary Claire Dowang, Joseph Dowang, Daniel K. Kanahele, James Conniff, and Warren Bloom. Attorney Lance Collins is representing the plaintiffs' interests, which range from ocean recreation to cultural and environmental concerns. The suit asks that the County of Maui cease utilizing the injection well system in South Maui. Chapter 20.30 of the Maui County Code pertaining to the use of reclaimed water states that any improved commercial property within 100 feet of the county's R1 distribution system must utilize R1 water for irrigation.